Welcome to the Wrestling with Success podcast. In this show, you'll learn how to use lessons used in sports so you can use failure as your secret weapon for success and succeed in the real world. Here's your host, former Division I All-American wrestler, former Division I head coach, husband, father, adventure seeker, and entrepreneur, Jim Harshaw.
Welcome to another episode of Sudden Success. I almost called it Wrestling in Your Car because Russell Brunson does these episodes where he's driving and he talks, and it's called Marketing in Your Car. And this is not Wrestling in Your Car. This is Sudden Success. This is one of my shorter episodes that I weave into among the longer episodes so I can sort of unload and download some of this content that's in my head that I want to get out to you, that I don't always have the time to sit down and write it out into a blog post. Sometimes I'll read a blog post. Sometimes I'll weave these thoughts into my interviews. But I'm driving on a Saturday morning right now en route to a place called Paw Paw, West Virginia. It's in the middle of nowhere. And I'm going on a weekend floating / camping trip with my best friend from high school. We were in first grade together. We actually started wrestling the exact same moment. We stepped onto the wrestling mat the first night of practice and in first grade, and we never looked back. We were actually about the same size, so we actually were wrestling practice partners the whole way through our senior year in high school. Anyway, so he and I haven't done this trip for quite a while, so I'm pretty excited. We used to do these kind of float trips, camping trips, and all kinds of adventures, rock climbing and everything else, whitewater, running some whitewater and everything, for years and years. And then as you grow up, you kind of get away from these things, which got me thinking. I just read a quote that one of these graphic quotes that I post on my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter sometimes, and this one says, "The life that you want is not some far-off moment in the future. It's here, now. Enjoy this very moment." And I want to talk about that real briefly in 3 ways that you can really enjoy the moment. And before I do, I just really want to mention real quick, August 1st, we start another group of Reveal Your Path. And Reveal Your Path is a 4-week program for former athletes to help you get clear on your goals, get the clarity you want, help you get focused, help you be more productive when you're at work, help you be more present when you're at home, help you get that work-life balance that you're looking for. It's real stuff. It works. I've taken a couple dozen people through it now. It's powerful. There's tons of testimony. If you go to revealyourpath.com, you can read some of the testimonials that are there. But it's been a blast, not only creating the program, implementing the program, getting the results, seeing the results, having people call me afterwards and tell me how their life has been changed, but also improving it. I've actually just got some advice a couple days ago from somebody else who runs one of these types of programs, and I'm going to improve it with a couple of tips that he gave me, so I'm pretty excited to implement those. Anyway, revealyourpath.com if you want to learn more. But as for today, as for figuring out ways to be happy right now, ways to appreciate your life right now, no matter what situation you're in. And the first one is this. It's gratitude. Expressing gratitude. It's amazing how easy it is to take for granted all the amazing things that you have in your life. And no matter where you're at, you can find something that you can feel blessed to have in your life, or something that's good, something that's really good about this moment right now. And you know, I kind of realized that as I was, you know, on this road trip, setting off, you know, for about a 3-hour drive to go meet my buddy. And you know, I'm really grateful. I mean, this is something that I actually hit the pause button on my drive to work just about every day. I hit the pause button and I say out loud things that I'm grateful for. And it's amazing how many of my guests on my show certainly do this, what I call the productive pause, which is a short period of focused reflection around specific questions that gives you clarity of action and peace of mind. But so many of them not only do that, but a lot of them just practice gratitude. And when you say what you're grateful for, I've got a car to drive and I got friends to go meet up with. There's actually 2 of them, 2 former teammates that I'm going to meet with. And, I've got friends to meet up with. I've got, a kayak to take with me. I've got a hot cup of coffee. I've got an amazing family. On and on and on. There's amazing blessing, but we get caught up in what we want, right? We get caught up in the next thing. We stop living in the moment. We stop being present. We stop being mindful of what we have and what is good in our lives right now. So take a minute and just do this. Say it out loud. Hit the pause button on this podcast and just say 3 things. Think of really small things that you can be grateful for. Okay? Maybe it's a nice day out when you're listening to this. Maybe you're working out. Maybe you're on your commute to your work. You've got things to be grateful for. So say 3 things that you're grateful for. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2, schedule something like this. This trip that I'm going on right now, I haven't done it for about 7 years. And we used to do it every year, a couple times a year, really. And you know, of course, life gets busy and kids and mortgage, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You become a grown-up, right? But this kind of trip just really brings me back to my roots, really reconnects me with who I am and where I started. Gosh, I mean, my best friend, we were 6 years old when we met. And it's things like this, or going to our hunting camp with my dad. It's something I did, since I was a kid, growing up. There's no running water, there's no bathroom. It's an outhouse. It's like simple, raw. It's you need a pickup truck to get to where it's at. It's like that's my roots. And whatever your roots are, Coach Garland, Steve Garland, head wrestling coach at the University of Virginia, close friend of mine. He just scheduled it. He just went back and visited his hometown. He's like, and he just went and he walked around and kind of looked at all the old places where he used to hang out and reconnect. Do something to reconnect. You've got to put it on your calendar. You've got to schedule. If you don't put it on your calendar, it's not going to happen. So do something that's going to help you reconnect with where you came from. Last one, 3rd one. Get clear on your goals. And here's why I say that. We all want hope. I used to always hear the word hope and, people talking about hope, and it's a big deal and it's so important. It's like, I never really thought about what that is. But when you really think about hope, we all have hope, right? We all have hope that next month is going to be better than this month, that next year is going to be better than this year. 10 years from now, it's going to be better than today. Hope is a big part of what keeps us moving. And when you have goals, that means you have hope for something, right? And you've actually you don't just have hope. You've put it within your power. You've identified something that you can control your journey towards achieving whatever you want to achieve. So you have hope, and it's concrete. You have an action plan. If you use the goal setting template that I have on the free resources page, if you go to jimharshawjr.com/action, you'll get access to that goal setting template. But that goal setting template helps you identify not only your goal, not only the deadline, but also the action plan, also the people and organizations that are going to help you get there. It's also going to help you identify the obstacles. That's one of the things that I always did whenever I'm working with young athletes. I say, okay, these are your goals, so what are the obstacles you're going to run into? What could potentially go wrong? There's injuries, there's bad calls by the official, et cetera, et cetera. There's plenty of things that can go wrong. It's like, okay, identify them now, because if and when they come, and one of them, or at least, is going to show up, you've expected it, right? It's not going to knock you back down. That's why I talk about revealing failure as the path to success. Failure and struggle and adversity and setback, they're going to happen. They're part of your path to success. And whatever you feel like you're struggling with, whatever you feel like you failed at in your life, and there's something right now, if you're honest with yourself, think about it. What did you fail at that has kind of knocked you back a little bit? Well, when you have clearly written goals and a plan to achieve them, that failure becomes almost irrelevant. Yeah, it hurts. Yeah, it sucks. But just like when you're an athlete, when you have goals, failure it's a bump in the road, right? When you don't have goals, failure just knocks you back to ground zero, knocks you back to the starting blocks, and you got to. Most people, just quit. They lower their goals, they give up on their dreams, and they quit. So when you have a goal, you have hope. Create your goals. Identify your goals. And bring this back to where I started in the program. In Reveal Your Path, we identify 4 goals, at least between 4 and 8 goals for you. And they're in the areas of, number 1, relationships, number 2, self, number 3, health and fitness goals, and number 4, wealth and financial and career goals. So those are the 4 areas where we identify goals. And we don't just identify goals for you. We identify goals that are meaningful for you, not me or not your neighbor, not keeping up with the Joneses next door, not American culture, society. It's goals that are important to you. So we create those goals that align with what is important to you. So I encourage you to at least take a look. If you haven't taken a look at Reveal Your Path, take a look, consider it. 110% money back guarantee, so you can't possibly lose. So if you want to reach out to me, if you got questions, shoot me an email, jim@jimharshawjr.com. Happy to respond to any emails or any questions you might have. And until next time, just like when you were an athlete, take the time to get clear on your goals and embrace failure as a stepping stone on your path to success.